do have light rain this morning. Come on back up, Morris. Come on, Morris. Come on back up, honey. First off, it's wet, and second off, this is where the food will stay dry. Hi. There you go. Yeah, this is what happens to the water that I so carefully refreshed yesterday morning when the leaves get in there. The tannins won't hurt the kitties, it just makes the water look yucky. It's going to rain through the afternoon, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to do with it this morning. Thank goodness right now it's not pouring. But it's raining more than I want to stand out here. Stripe's just in here. He's been in and out a few times. Haven't you, Stripey? Haven't you, bud? I didn't want to keep Morris waiting while I went and had my second cup of coffee. Nighttime. Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to study the forecast too much this morning, but rain is, pretty likely until late afternoon today. Drier tomorrow, but not really pretty if you're wanting sun. And then, the whole Imelda thing is still kind of uncertain, but it doesn't look like it's going to be more than a Category 1 or a tropical storm. That has nothing to do with how much rain it'll drop. So we'll just have to wait and see. We had 0.37 inches according to Tempest before bed last night. And of course we had close to that amount the night before. So, and I don't know what we've had since midnight. We haven't had big amounts. That's not very much for us. It's a good amount for dryness and helping the plants, but not for raising river levels. I've been out here and did fresh water for all of the animal cat bowls. All looks good. Sorry, didn't mean to be too high. Let me go ahead and empty the rain out of this. It says over an inch, but like I said, I don't know that it's been empty, and I know we had at least 0.8 plus overnight was probably more. But I'm a little bummed out, so I'm going to share with you guys. I came out to a 12-foot long, 3-inch in diameter tree limb down over here near the large flag. And it's probably come off this big tree, one of these big trees right here. Nothing that could have been done to prevent it. The branch would have been too high. But as you can see, it came down in the middle of my my impatient. And then straight through the middle of my camellia bush here. There's the branch back over there behind the squirrel feeder tree. I managed to get it off by myself, and then I picked up all that I could because I don't want to look at dead limbs on the ground. But it went straight through the middle, and basically all the little branches down the middle, it stripped them. So it's not going to die. It just disappointing and made it a little ugly. And this impatient thing was so pretty, and it's still pretty, but it's not as pretty as it was. It was just a little disappointing. Stripe's at my feet now, and there's Morris and Marty. Come on, guys. I'm not going any farther. Stripey! Stripey, come on, bud. Stripey comes back. The rest of them will, too. I don't remember if I'm expecting a delivery today or not. Of course, it's early. It's only 9:15. I haven't. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Marty, Morris. I got Stripe at my feet. Like I said, he's a mama's boy. He doesn't stray too far, but that's okay. The berries on the beauty berry look great. They're very pretty today. I'll have to get a picture of it. I'm still planning to chop it back here. I would say next weekend at the latest, before all those berries drop and I have seedlings everywhere. I forgot to put the solar fountain thing back in the bird bath in the front yard yesterday, but it seems like it's fine. I try to lean it against the watering can while I'm getting the old water out and moving my hand around to remove debris from the bird bath. And that way when I move the watering can, I've got to remember to put it back in, and I broke that protocol yesterday. It's the second time it hasn't ended back up inside. But I will, you know, try to follow that protocol. That's all I can really do, right? Got a lot of stuff out here to take care of. And so the leaves on the oak leaf hydrangea haven't been eaten and are huge. The deer probably wouldn't love them this thick at the end of the year. You know, they like soft new sprouts. But anyway, I'm looking forward to the change of the color. I'm enjoying this hydrangea, which has given me, you know, here's the old bloom from earlier this summer. Still pretty. And here's a new late summer bloom. I will cut this back in the not too distant future. It's too tall going into the winter when we might have any ice accumulation. It would just get broken and be laying down on the ground, so it's going to need some trimming. But anyway, for today, it looks pretty. Hi. Hi, Morris. Come here. Morris. He goes, Mom, I always want attention, but I just never really know if it's safe. Hi. You're a good boy. Yeah. Up. Hop up. Hi. Hello. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. Hi. Good girl. I'm going to be done with my chores early today. So here are the Vidalia onions from yesterday, and I've put some in the pan for the scrambled eggs. I'm making me and Don, we'll call it breakfast, but it's brunch. It's lunchtime. It's lunch. It's our middle of the day meal. It's our first meal of the day of 2 meals. We really don't get bored of having bacon and eggs multiple times a week. We really don't. We don't get bored of eating steak either. No. Don has his appropriately what the front shirt on. Just going to mention that Don is voting our shares today.
That's right.
In Robinhood, and we have some shares outside of Robinhood.
Yeah, we have both.
And he's figuring that out for us. Thank you, Donnie.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
So on our way to the landfill, you can see, I wonder if they're going to move the tobacco barn, because sometimes they have historical relevance and museums and such want them. You can see Bob Barker, which is just this side of where we park when we walk the Greenway Trail over there in the woods, that building with the red stripe on it. Anyway, that's where the new Lowe's Foods is going. Not that that intersection back there has any chance whatsoever of being able to handle the additional traffic that a grocery store on that corner is going to be. And this shortcut to get from our side of town to Michelle's side of town, we're headed to the landfill and the GMC, is totally not a shortcut now, and certainly won't be a shortcut in the future. But amen for Don and I were just having a Baptists versus Catholics interpretation of the Bible discussion. So I may slip out some theological kind of words here. But anyway, yeah, that ain't. Yeah, that everyone's trying to breathe. Some people in the town are excited about the Lowe's Foods coming. Other people in the town are pretty upset that we're having yet another big store come in with improper road travel back and forth. Or, you know, it takes 15 or 20 minutes to get 2 miles from one side to the other side of the town now. We aren't interested in any new stuff. We're just interested in them fixing the roads. And I don't plan on shopping at the new Lowe's. I won't say never about going in there, because maybe they have a really huge parking spot with really great parking spaces for Ruby that I can get in and out of without any hassle like at Harris Teeter, and they have a lot of cheap organic food. Then maybe I'll go into the Lowe's. I will consider shopping at the Lowe's, but probably not. Here comes well, I guess it got stopped. I was going to say a white Mach-E. We also saw a red one back there, and there's a Model 3. Yeah. Anyway, we got a Lowe's Foods coming to town. Don't confuse it with Lowe's Home Improvement, because it's spelled the same, but it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
And just a reminder that our Harris Teeter is actually a Kroger, which is actually a Fred Meyer. It's just that Harris Teeter got bought out by that conglomerate, and the name everybody knows in North Carolina is Harris Teeter. Right. More so. They decided to stick with the store name everybody already believed in. There's a major Harris Teeter warehouse just outside of Monroe, between Monroe and Charlotte in North Carolina, and it's still in.
Wow. Back to back.
Wow.
2 white ones. Impressive.
Maybe they're family. So Don did finish voting all of our shares.
Yeah.
And he voted as the board suggested.
Correct.
Followed their guidance, except on a couple of things there wasn't guidance.
That's right.
So you had to research it and then vote.
One of them I'd already heard about or knew about, and that's, should Tesla invest in XAI? And I said yes. I didn't really research that. I just went on and voted for that. The other one is, should you change the bylaws to do a simple majority instead of a super majority? And I had I was like, is that good or bad? So I did poke around and research that a little bit more. And I guess at this point, I went on and voted our shares for that, to allow them to do a simple majority. But I do understand that could be a two-edged sword there. So it could allow activist type shareholders to possibly win a vote that they wouldn't have won in the event of a battle, some type of a battle, because the super majority, 67 2/3 or 66 2/3, whatever it is, 67%. That's a pretty high bar to clear. But the simple majority is a little bit easier. But I felt Tesla's going to be so dynamic. I'm very optimistic. FSD, optimist, all those things. I think that, I don't know that it's going to be a $100 trillion
business.
I don't
know. Yeah.
But I am not worried about
growth potential.
People getting upset because they're not making enough money. If you're invested in Tesla, I think your investment is going to do quite well.
Right. One of the things Don asked Grok in helping to make his analysis was, does this make it easier for Elon to leave Tesla? And while Grok said technically it does, that's really not why. It's more to his benefit in staying than in trying to help him leave. Because I've said this before, and it's still true for me personally. I will still be interested in Tesla if Elon leaves, but not at the level of interest I am right now.
Yeah.
It matters to me, so.
Well, I do believe I don't think Elon's going to leave anytime. I think at this point, because of what's just happened through the election and all this other stuff, I think he's more likely to stay now than ever for a longer period of time. But I do agree, at some point he is going to leave. But I got a feeling when he decides to leave, he says, hey folks, I'm going to be stepping down when I'm 65 or something. I'm just going to pick the number out of the air. And it'll be like a 5-year notice. So the stock will dip immediately on that announcement, but then it'll rebound, and then we'll have 5 years to ease into it. And of course but by then hopefully things will be booming, so we'll be used to the idea. But to me, if Elon's announced next week that's it, I'm done with Tesla, oh my God, I mean, I totally know what would happen it would tank. The stock would just destroy it. So he is a key man, and that is a real liability for Tesla, is that Elon is such a key man. Well, if you read the annual shareholder report, it said Elon was a once in a generation leader. There's no other Elons out there right now. Maybe in a few more years there'll be another Elon, but right now he's it. You don't get two of those.
Right, and I do think Elon doesn't care about tomorrow's stock price,
No,
but I do think he does care about the retail investors.
Right.
I don't think he's not worried about your investment this week, but he wants to feel good about your long-term investment. So if you're in it trying to flip money on Tesla, yeah, we don't care about how you're doing. But if you're in it and you're in it for a while and you're a supporter, then I think that's different. I think he does care. So therefore, as Don said, there would be some warning about him leaving in time for it to recover and people to get used to the idea without panicking.
Yeah. Well, I keep wondering when to sell. I mean, what's going to be my motivation or impetus to sell? And I just like, I can't even think.
Yeah.
Their criteria. I mean, you say, oh, we should pick a number and sell at that number, but the problem is, no matter what number I pick right now, the chances are it'll go past that number and then double it.
Right. And then Don and I do discuss all of these things, and every time he even breathes a hint of maybe we should sell like even 5% of it or something, I tend to just like shudder in dismay that we're even talking about it. So
well, yeah, we did back.
We had a small amount of a sell order, and it almost hit, but it didn't hit.
Right, well, no, I was saying, I don't know how many years ago, probably it was pre-pandemic, we sold stock and got our original investment out. So now we certainly have invested a little bit more money since then, but the original investment, we've already gotten that out. So I don't want to say playing on other people's money, but you know, we've got our original investment out. Of course, you could say, well, you could put something else in, it would grow too, but you know, I don't know what else. That's the problem. There's the number one reason. The reason I don't sell. So if I sell, what are we going to do with the money? What am I going to put it in that's going to do anything better than Tesla?
Right. It's too late to invest in a couple of the other companies that we would be interested in investing in, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, vote your shares, please.
Yes, please.
And we voted with the board suggestions. Can't really see them, but there's a couple of vehicles pulling trailers with a ton of stuff. Don wanted to stay over there, but ended up coming over here. So we are going to go to Porter's we're going to go to Mr. Ball's, I think. We're going to go to Porter's and pick out my mom and get an ice cream. Today is fall ice cream mom select. We try to do that once a year. So we're going to head over there in a bit. I had told Don I wanted to stop at Guardian Angel maybe the way back through town. Don just added that our return on investment is good, and previously we voted with the board, and since the board has produced good return of investment for us, why would we not want to follow their recommendations? So, but we did do some research on it, but yeah, I mean, another thing Don and I did on Catch Up Saturday was invest in Revero.com, Revero. I'll put it in the video description. Sean Baker, #1 on the misinfluencer list that we were talking about yesterday. That's his company that he started out to help people get off medicine and reverse disease. So instead of being sick care, he's all fix you care and prevention care and that kind of thing. And he never said, and neither did I, that everyone should only eat meat. And Revero is absolutely utilizing ketogenic skills. And I won't say that they might not recommend carnivore for some amount of time for some folks whose autoimmune issues or type 2 diabetic issues really warrant it. But that is not the only or sole focus. Because, you know, keto can be anything from, I forget how Dr. Berry says it, but anything from 100 grams a day, 50 grams a day, 20 grams a day, or 0 grams a day. And it really depends on how sick you are, how old you are, i.e. how long you've been sick, and those kinds of things. But it's very whole food focused, and we're considering running me through them. And part of signing up as an investor includes a membership to the carnivore community, and also a little bit of a discount to sign up to talk to one of their healthcare providers. So they have I believe now a doctor in every state of the U.S. because you have to receive your health care from a doctor that's in your state. So there, and I already looked up who the person for North Carolina was or anything. But anyway, this man basically lives nonstop. He was a former orthopedic surgeon and used to repair people all the time until he found out that he could prevent a lot of surgeries by changing people's diet and exercise regimen. He also holds a ton of world records in all kinds of sports categories. He's rowing is one of them. He's my age, so he's not a spring chicken, but he still record holds things. And he was also, I want to say it was Army, but he was also a combat surgeon. So he put our soldiers back together and was in the battlefield and is more than just a guy making a dime on repairing your baseball player's rotator cuff. So anyway, you got to put your money where your mouth is, like we did with Tesla. We also have done now with Revero. So we just left Mr. Balls with 5 dozen eggs, and we're gonna pull into the park for a minute over here, use the facilities, and then head over to
get ice cream.
To Porter's. Yeah. I'm getting a mum, and Don and I are both getting ice cream.
Oh, is that what I thought we were going to get ice cream.
He knew we were going to get a mum. If they have one I like and think is worth the money. Mr. Ball didn't have anything. Don, I was slow on the camera and Don was fast on the accelerator, but there weren't any mums. All he had was, what was that green thing out there?
Collards.
Collards. He had collard plants if you wanted. That's a cold plant, wet winter crop here.
Yeah.
If you wanted to plant collards, you could have done that.
You harvest them after the first good frost.
Well, being from New Jersey, I can just honestly tell you that we never had collards, and I don't know if I've ate them a couple of times and they're okay as far as greens go, but I have no experience with them. Well, add a lot of bacon grease. That would be my fat back. They would call that fat back here in North Carolina. Add a lot of fat back and they'll probably be tasty.
Yeah, well, the other thing is you got to have cornbread with it. If I ain't going to get cornbread, I don't want those green things.
Right.
And keep the vegetables.
Although I make some pretty good keto cornbread, but yes, I understand, and that's actually a little bit of work, so I don't make it as often as Don would love to have it.
You do plenty good sweet pea.
Well, we'll be having chili here soon, and when we have the chili, we'll be having the cornbread. I will make you the cornbread.
Amen.
Cold days and football season are only 6 to 8 weeks away. Yeah, I mean, for us to get a day where it actually feels, I may make chili before then, but for it to feel like chilly weather, we're 6 or 8 weeks away from that. Yeah, well, 2 months is 8 weeks. Yeah. I'm not, cooler is good. Cold, I'm not, asking for that. We're here. Now, I like the orange ones with a hint of red, and I'm not seeing that up here. We're going to walk over here toward the field and see what we see. And if not, I'll pick one out. There's a red one that has a little yellow dot in the center. Okay, this is the one that I'm fond of. It looks the most autumn to me. It's just a personal preference. They're all great colors, but it was hid by the white car. Yeah, all the rain stayed around I-95 today, 20, 30 miles east of us. It still looks stormy, but we've not had rain for hours now.
So I've got a scoop of caramel apple crunch that I had last time, and it is delicious. And a scoop of peach caramel pecan?
Pecan, yeah. They changed it from praline to pecan. And I've got pumpkin, and I've got ginger snap. On the agenda was to gas up the GMC. Remember, the GMC is our extra fuel for the new generator. Well, the old or the new. Don has a way to get the gas back out. So we just store it in the GMC. We were down, I guess it says 40 miles now, but we were down to, I thought he said 30 miles of range. And I'm like, is that how you meant to phrase that? So anyway, we didn't remember where we left it coming back from UNCC or the last landfill thing. So anyway, it's looking like Imelda is not going to come inland. So it's looking like we're not going to have any wind issues. Don't know all the way about the rain yet. And anyway, we probably won't need this gas to run the generator, but we like to be prepared. I'm at the Dollar Tree now, and they did get in some orange pumpkin garland, but of course I already went and bought something else. This squishmallow is named Alberta and has a maple leaf. It's very cute. I got a buy one get one free deal on coffee. The tuna fish was on sale for an incredible price, and so was this bacon, which I'm gonna give a try. So I did get some deals in here today. I paid $8 for my mums. These are $7, and they're not even half as nice. For the person that loves the rainbow or can't make up their mind, which could describe me, it's pretty. These are 10 each. Well, this is $5, and maybe there's 3 or 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I'm proud to say I couldn't remember what size the drain plug the GMC took to drain the oil. It's 13 millimeter. Because I haven't changed the oil in the GMC since pre-COVID. We don't drive it that many miles, and it's got a computer in it that tells you your oil life, and it was down to 10%. So I'm changing the oil. I have never put anything but synthetic. I don't know what it shipped from the factory with, but the very first oil change all those years ago, I put the Mobile 1 in it, synthetic, fully synthetic, and that's all I've ever used. And I got to tell you, I just took the drain plug out, and it was like there was no gunk, no nothing. So I guess synthetic stuff really works well. It's a little bit of a pain to change the oil. Thank goodness I don't have to do it that often, because you got to have a 6-quart laying around, and so I say that's a unused, unopened, but I will save that. I had saved some 1-quart oil, but I don't know what I did with it. So anyway, been years since I've used you can see the drain pan there. It's been years since I've used it, and let me tell you, I haven't missed not using it, not one little bit. I mean, I have not missed changing oil at all. The Scion I used to change a little more often, and it was pretty easy to change too. I mean, this is not hard. It's just, got to slide up underneath the car. You got to jack it up. You got to do all those things. And because I'm basically too cheap. And the real thing, I'd be glad to pay somebody the labor to change it, but they won't. At least around here, the guys won't do that. And if you want synthetic, they charge you like an extra $100 or something. I'm not paying that. I mean, the synthetic stuff, I bought it on Amazon. I got 2 quarts for like 44, 2 5-quart bottles, like $44. So it's like, why in God's green earth would I pay $100 for an oil change, because I want to use synthetic? It's just a ripoff. Anyway, but it would save me some time and convenience. So here we go. I'm gonna get the filter off. I have a filter wrench that fits, so that makes it a little easier. And I've learned, I do remember from last time, the 409 is very good to squirt up in there to get all the oil, because the oil, there's a pan up in there that some of the oil splashes on, and I tend to wipe that off, and I got me some paper towels. So here we go.